Welcome to my channel. Chapter 1. The Child No One Believed. For over 12,000 years, every intelligent civilization in the galaxy feared one name, the Star Dragon. It was older than suns, larger than moons, and powerful enough to reduce entire fleets to glowing dust with a single breath. Legends claimed that wherever the Star Dragon appeared, empires disappeared. No one had ever defeated it. No one had ever spoken to it, and no one had ever spoken to it. The Galactic Council declared the creature untouchable. Entire sectors of space were marked as forbidden, and even the bravest explorers changed course rather than risk entering the dragon's territory. Then something impossible happened. The Star Dragon changed direction. Instead of attacking another powerful empire, it flew toward a tiny blue world on the edge of the galaxy, Earth. Within hours, thousands of alien warships surrounded the solar system, not to protect humanity, but to witness its destruction. "The humans don't stand a chance," one admiral said. "They've barely joined the galactic community. They'll be gone before sunrise." On Earth, emergency sirens echoed across every continent. Governments prepared for evacuation. Scientists searched desperately for answers. Nothing explained why the ancient beast had chosen humanity. In a small mountain village, 10-year-old Noah Carter looked up at the night sky. Unlike everyone else, he wasn't afraid. He had always loved the stars. Every evening, he climbed the same hill, carrying a worn notebook filled with drawings of imaginary creatures. His grandmother smiled whenever she saw them. "One day," she would say, "the stars will answer a kind heart." Noah never forgot those words. That night, the sky cracked open. A golden light, brighter than the moon, spread across the heavens. People screamed and ran. Cars stopped. Power grids failed. The Star Dragon had arrived. It descended silently through the clouds. Its wings stretched farther than cities. Its emerald eyes glowed like newborn suns. Alien fleets immediately opened fire. Thousands of plasma beams struck the dragon. The attacks disappeared harmlessly against shimmering scales. The dragon ignored every ship, ignored every weapon, ignored every military commander. Instead, it slowly lowered its enormous head toward one frightened little human standing alone on the hill. Noah. The entire galaxy watched in stunned silence. The boy took one careful step forward, then another. His grandmother's words echoed in his mind. "The stars will answer a kind heart." Noah raised his trembling hand. The Star Dragon lowered its head and gently touched its forehead against the child's tiny palm. Across the galaxy, every communication channel fell silent. The impossible had happened. The creature that no emperor could command had chosen a human child, and no one knew why. Chapter 2. The Dragon's Choice. The moment Noah's hand touched the Star Dragon's forehead, a wave of golden light spread across the earth. Every weapon fell silent. Every alarm stopped. For one breathtaking moment, the entire planet stood perfectly still. Thousands of alien warships watched in disbelief. This is impossible. No living creature has ever touched a Star Dragon. What is that child? Inside the Galactic Council's flagship, Supreme Chancellor Kalor stared at the live broadcast. He had studied the Star Dragon legends for nearly 3 centuries. According to every ancient record, the creature destroyed anyone who came too close. Yet now, it closed its enormous eyes peacefully beneath the hand of a human child. Noah felt warmth instead of fear. Suddenly, thousands of images rushed through his mind. He saw galaxies being born, stars exploding into brilliant clouds, ancient civilizations rising and falling. Then he saw the Star Dragon, alone. For millions of years, guarding something hidden beyond the edge of the known universe. Tears filled Noah's eyes. "You're lonely." The dragon slowly opened one glowing emerald eye. For the first time in recorded history, it spoke, not with sound, but directly into every mind in the solar system. At last, someone understands. Across Earth, millions heard the same gentle voice. People who had been running moments earlier stopped and looked toward the sky. The dragon continued, "I did not come to conquer humanity. I came to find the one whose heart still carries compassion without fear." The alien admirals exchanged nervous glances. One whispered, "It chose the human." Another replied, "No, it chose the child." Before anyone could react, dozens of massive warships belonging to the ruthless Zarkon Empire dropped out of hyperspace. Their emperor appeared on every screen. If the beast has chosen the boy, then seize the boy. Control the dragon. Hundreds of attack ships rushed toward Earth. The star dragon slowly lifted its head. Its emerald eyes flashed once. No fire, no roar, no explosion. Every attacking ship simply stopped in space, frozen as though time itself had paused. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. The dragon could have destroyed them. Instead, it spared them. Noah looked up. "You don't want anyone to die." The dragon lowered its head again. "Life is too precious to waste." Far beyond the solar system, hidden in the darkness between galaxies, 3 more pairs of ancient eyes opened. The star dragon was no longer alone. Something had sensed its awakening, and this time, the entire universe was in danger. Chapter 3. The Hunters of the Star Dragons. The frozen Zarkon warships hung motionless above Earth like statues. Not a single weapon could fire. Not a single engine would respond. The Star Dragon had stopped an entire invasion without harming a single soul. Across the galaxy, billions watched the live broadcast. Some felt relief, others felt fear. But deep within the forgotten reaches of space, something far older had awakened. 3 enormous shadows drifted between dead stars. Unlike the Star Dragon, these beings radiated only darkness. Their armor-like skin absorbed light, leaving nothing but black silhouettes against the cosmos. One slowly opened its glowing crimson eyes. "The last guardian has revealed itself," another answered, "and it has bonded with a human." The third growled with ancient hatred, "Then the child must die." Back on Earth, Noah remained beside the Star Dragon. Although the creature was larger than a mountain, Noah no longer saw a monster. He saw sadness. "You've been alone for a very long time, haven't you?" he whispered. The dragon nodded gently. Millions of years earlier, there had been hundreds of star dragons. They protected life throughout the universe, ensuring that young civilizations had a chance to grow in peace. But then came the hunters. They did not conquer worlds. They erased hope itself. One by one, the star dragons fell defending planets they had sworn to protect. Only one survived. The one standing before Noah. "I couldn't save them," the dragon said quietly. Its voice carried the weight of countless ages. Noah placed both hands on its glowing scales. "You don't have to be alone anymore." For the first time in millions of years, the star dragon smiled. Its emerald eyes shone brighter than ever. At that exact moment, every observatory in the galaxy detected 3 impossible energy signatures approaching. From deep space, they were moving faster than light, and they were heading directly for Earth. Inside the Galactic Council, panic spread. "The hunters have returned. We don't have enough fleets. We couldn't stop one star dragon. How can we stop 3 hunters?" The Council's greatest military commanders all reached the same conclusion. The universe was facing extinction. Meanwhile, aboard the Zarkon flagship, Emperor Varkas watched with cold determination. If the child is the dragon's weakness, then he is our greatest weapon. Ignoring the Council's warnings, he secretly dispatched an elite strike team to Earth. Their mission was simple: capture Noah, no matter the cost. That night, as Noah looked up at the stars from the same hill where everything had begun, he noticed 3 tiny red lights appearing in the sky. They grew larger every second. The star dragon lifted its head. For the first time since arriving on Earth, it roared. The sound echoed across the planet like rolling thunder, not in anger, but as a warning. The hunters had arrived, and the battle for the future of every living world was about to begin. Chapter 4. The Battle Above Earth. The sky above Earth turned crimson. 3 massive rifts opened in space, each stretching thousands of kilometers across. Lightning-like streams of dark energy surged between them, making satellites lose contact and sending shockwaves through the solar system. Then, the hunters emerged. They were unlike anything humanity had ever imagined. Their bodies looked as though they had been carved from living black crystal. 6 glowing crimson eyes scanned the planets below, and their wings cast shadows so vast that they eclipsed the light of the sun. Around the world, people looked up in silence. The star dragon stepped forward, placing itself between Earth and the approaching hunters. It spread its enormous golden wings. The skies filled with radiant light. The lead hunter laughed, its voice echoing through every mind. You still protect them, even after failing your own kind. The star dragon remained calm. As long as one innocent life remains, my duty is not over. The hunter's eyes narrowed. Then it noticed Noah standing beneath the dragon. So, the child is the reason. Without warning, a spear of dark energy shot toward the hill. It moved faster than any missile ever created. Noah froze before anyone could react. The star dragon wrapped one of its giant wings around him. The attack struck with unimaginable force. A blinding explosion shook the earth. Dust and smoke filled the air. People watching across the galaxy held their breath. As the smoke cleared, the star dragon was still standing. Its golden scales had protected Noah completely, but a deep crack now ran across its chest, glowing with crimson energy. The dragon had been wounded. For the first time in millions of years, it had bled. The hunters smiled. Even guardians can fall. Noah looked at the glowing wound with tears in his eyes. You protected me. The dragon gently lowered its head. I promised to protect life, but now it is your turn to protect hope. Before Noah could ask what that meant, the ground beneath him began to glow. The notebook he always carried, the one filled with drawings of imaginary creatures, floated into the air. Its pages turned by themselves. Every drawing began to shine. Golden symbols spread across the paper. Symbols Noah had never drawn. The star dragon's eyes widened. It has awakened. Far above Earth, the hunters suddenly stopped smiling. One whispered in disbelief, "The heart of creation." Another stepped back. Impossible. The notebook burst into brilliant light, and a beam shot into the heavens, connecting Noah to the stars themselves. For the first time, the hunters looked afraid. Chapter 5. The Heart of Creation. The beam of golden light pierced the heavens, reaching far beyond the solar system. Every star it touched glowed a little brighter. Across the galaxy, ancient observatories awakened after millions of years. Machines built by forgotten civilizations suddenly came to life, displaying the same message in every language. The heart of creation has awakened. The hunters stared at Noah in disbelief. "This cannot be possible," the eldest hunter growled. "The heart was lost before the first stars were born." The star dragon smiled for the first time since the battle had begun. It was never lost. It was waiting. Noah looked at the glowing notebook floating before him. "I don't understand." "You will," the dragon replied gently. "It shows you because you never stopped imagining a better future." As the notebook opened, every page transformed into a living picture. The dragons Noah had drawn as a child soared from the paper as beings of pure golden light. The stars, forests, oceans, and creatures he had imagined followed them, filling the sky with breathtaking beauty. People around the world watched in amazement. Noah hadn't created weapons. He had created hope. The star dragon lowered its head beside him. "The heart of creation does not grant power to the strongest. It grants power to the kindest." The hunters roared in fury. "Destroy the child!" All three charged at once. Darkness spread across the sky like a tidal wave. The earth trembled beneath their approach. Noah closed his eyes. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a hero. He was just a boy who loved drawing the stars. Then he remembered something his grandmother had once told him. The greatest light is born from the smallest act of kindness. Taking a deep breath, Noah opened his notebook to a blank page. Instead of drawing a weapon, he drew a bridge connecting two distant worlds. The moment his pencil touched the paper, the golden light exploded outward. A radiant bridge of starlight appeared between the star dragon and the hunters. The hunters halted in confusion. "What is this?" "It isn't an attack," Noah said softly. "It's an invitation." The star dragon looked at Noah with pride. "You understand now. The opposite of fear isn't strength. It's compassion." For the first time in countless ages, the hunters hesitated. No one had ever offered them peace. They had only known endless war. But before anyone could speak, the fabric of space itself shattered. A colossal shadow emerged from the darkness beyond the stars. It was larger than all three hunters combined. The star dragon's smile vanished. Its voice trembled. "No, it can't be." The hunters immediately bowed their heads. The Void King has awakened. The true ruler of the darkness had arrived, and even the hunters feared him. Chapter 6. The Void King. The heavens fell silent. Even the stars seemed to dim as the colossal shadow emerged from the endless darkness beyond the galaxy. It had no wings, no face, no true form. It was a living abyss, so enormous that entire constellations disappeared behind it. Streams of black energy flowed around its body like rivers, swallowing every ray of light they touched. The three hunters lowered their heads in complete submission. No one had ever seen them bow. Not to an emperor, not to a god, only to one being, the Void King. His voice echoed through every corner of the universe. "Guardian, you have delayed the inevitable for millions of years." The star dragon stepped forward despite the deep crack across its chest. "I will delay it for one moment longer, if that moment saves a single innocent life." The Void King laughed. The sound alone caused distant stars to tremble. "You still believe kindness is stronger than fear?" The star dragon looked toward Noah. "I don't believe it anymore. I know it." The Void King's attention shifted to the young boy. "So, you are the heart of creation." Noah held his glowing notebook tightly. "I don't want to fight." The king smiled. Neither did the first dreamers. He lifted one enormous hand. Instantly, the sky above Earth filled with terrifying visions. Cities reduced to ashes. Oceans turned black. The sun fading into darkness. Millions of people cried out as the illusions felt completely real. Noah's hands trembled. For a moment, he almost believed them. Then he remembered his grandmother's smile. He remembered the star dragon shielding him with its own life. He remembered the bridge he had drawn instead of a weapon. Slowly, he opened his notebook to another blank page. This time, he drew a sunrise. As the final line touched the paper, brilliant golden light burst across the heavens. The terrifying visions dissolved like morning mist. Children around the world looked up to see blue skies returning. The Void King frowned. Impossible. Noah smiled. Darkness can hide the light, but it can't stop the sunrise. Across the galaxy, billions witnessed the moment. Hope spread from world to world. Ships that had been retreating turned back toward Earth. The Galactic Council united every remaining fleet under a single command, not to conquer, not to seek revenge, but to defend life. The Star Dragon's wound began to heal, glowing with warm golden light. "The heart is restoring me," it whispered. The Void King's expression hardened. "So be it." He stretched both hands toward the stars. Behind him, thousands of new portals ripped open across the universe. From each portal emerged another hunter, then another, then hundreds more. Within minutes, an endless army filled the heavens. Every civilization watching realized the horrifying truth. The battle above Earth had only been the beginning, and Noah, the child who loved to draw dragons and stars, now carried the hopes of the entire universe. Chapter 7. The Army of Light. The universe had never witnessed an army so vast. Thousands, then millions, of hunters poured from the dark portals behind. The Void King. Their crimson eyes burned like dying stars, and their wings covered the heavens in shadow. For a moment, every commander in the Galactic Alliance believed the battle was already lost. Silence spread through the fleet. Then a single human voice broke it. All ships. Captain Elena Torres of Earth's flagship stood on her bridge, looking at the image of Noah and the Star Dragon. Form a defensive line. One by one, ships from every civilization answered. "We stand with Earth. We stand with the Guardian. We stand with the child." Within minutes, more than 2 million starships formed a shield around the solar system. It was the largest alliance in the history of the universe. The Void King looked upon them without emotion. So many willing to die. Captain Elena smiled. No, so many willing to protect. The Void King raised one hand. The hunter army surged forward. The final battle began. Golden beams and crimson energy lit up the stars. Human pilots flew beside alien aces. Ancient battleships shielded civilian transports. Medical vessels rescued the wounded from every species without hesitation. It wasn't an army of nations. It was an army of hope. Standing beside the Star Dragon, Noah watched the battle with tears in his eyes. So many people. They're fighting because of me. The dragon gently shook its head. No, they're fighting because you reminded them who they are. Noah looked down at his notebook. Several blank pages remained. The dragon spoke softly. The heart of creation is nearly exhausted. You have enough power for only one final drawing. Noah's fingers tightened around the pencil. One drawing, one chance. He could create the greatest weapon in existence. Or something else. Far above them, the Void King unleashed a wave of darkness that shattered hundreds of allied ships. The Star Dragon roared and flew to intercept, but even its ancient strength was beginning to fade. The Void King smiled. It ends now. Noah closed his eyes. He thought of his grandmother, of Earth, of the friends he had never met across the galaxy. He whispered, "If I draw a weapon, someone else will always build a bigger one." He placed his pencil on the final blank page. Then he began to draw. Not a sword, not a dragon, not a shield. He drew a family. Humans, aliens, children, the star dragon, even the hunters, all standing beneath the same sky, watching the same stars together. As the final line was completed, the notebook burst into a light brighter than 1,000 suns. The army of light had awakened. Chapter 8. The Final Drawing. The moment Noah finished his final drawing, the notebook dissolved into thousands of tiny golden stars. They rose gently into the sky, drifting across the battlefield like glowing snow. Every soldier stopped fighting. Every hunter paused. Even the Void King lowered his hand. The tiny lights touched the hearts of everyone they reached. Human captains suddenly remembered their families waiting at home. Alien warriors saw the children they had sworn to protect. Even the hunters experienced something they had never felt before. Memories. They remembered a time before the darkness. A time when they had been guardians of newborn stars. A time when they had created life instead of destroying it. One hunter dropped its weapon. Another stepped back in confusion. What have we become? The Void King's voice thundered across the universe. Do not listen. You were born to erase hope. But the hunters no longer believed him. One by one, they turned away from their king. The star dragon watched with tears shining in its emerald eyes. They remember. They finally remember. The Void King roared with fury. Darkness erupted from his body, swallowing entire fleets in a storm of shadows. This universe belongs to fear. Noah stepped forward. He had no notebook, no magical power, no weapon, only his voice. You don't have to be alone anymore. The Void King froze. No one had ever spoken to him with kindness. For billions of years he had ruled through fear. No one had ever offered him another path. The silence that followed felt endless. Then, a single tear of black light rolled down the Void King's face. I don't remember how. The star dragon slowly approached its ancient enemy. Without anger, without fear, it gently touched its forehead against the Void King's, just as it had done with Noah on the hill. Golden light spread through the endless darkness. The crimson glow faded from the king's eyes. For the first time since the beginning of time, he remembered his true name. He had once been Aurion, the first guardian. Long before he became the Void King, he had protected the stars beside the star dragons. But endless loneliness had slowly transformed him into the very darkness he once fought. Noah smiled. Welcome home. The darkness surrounding Orion shattered into countless rays of golden light. Across the universe, every portal closed. The remaining hunters laid down their weapons. The war was over, not because one side had been destroyed, but because one child had chosen compassion over revenge. The star dragon looked proudly at Noah. You have done what no army could. You reminded the universe that even the deepest darkness can find its way back to the light. As dawn rose over Earth, the stars seemed brighter than ever before. The age of fear had ended, and the age of hope had begun. Chapter 9. A Universe Reborn. 3 years passed. The universe was no longer divided by fear. The scars of the Great War remained. But everywhere they looked, civilizations were rebuilding together. Human engineers worked alongside alien scientists to restore shattered worlds. Former hunters planted forests on planets they had once attacked. The Galactic Council no longer met to discuss war. Instead, its greatest mission became protecting life, wherever it was found. At the center of the council hall stood a new monument, not of a king, not of a warrior, but of a small human boy holding a simple notebook. Beneath it were carved the words, "One kind heart can change the destiny of the stars." Noah Carter had become the youngest hero in galactic history, yet he never thought of himself as one. He still lived in the same mountain village on Earth. He still climbed the same hill every evening. The only difference was that now, the Star Dragon waited for him among the clouds. The two friends would sit together in silence, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of gold and crimson. One evening, Noah asked, "Do you ever wish things had happened differently?" The dragon smiled. "If they had, I never would have met you." Far away, Orion, the former Void King, had dedicated himself to repairing the regions of space that had been damaged by millions of years of darkness. Every star he restored shone brighter than before. The former hunters followed him, no longer as soldiers, but as guardians. The universe slowly began to heal. One quiet night, Noah noticed a tiny blue light drifting down from the sky. It landed gently in his hands. It looked like a glowing crystal. Inside it, a heartbeat. The Star Dragon's eyes widened. "It can't be. What is it?" Noah asked. The dragon's voice trembled with joy. "It's an egg." Noah looked closer. The crystal glowed brighter. A tiny shadow moved inside. The first Star Dragon born in over 5 million years. The dragon lowered its head respectfully. "You didn't just save the universe, Noah. You gave it a future." As Noah smiled at the tiny egg, the stars above seemed to celebrate. A new generation of guardians would one day soar across the galaxies, not to rule them, but to protect them. And every one of them would know the story of the human child who proved that courage is powerful, but kindness is eternal. The adventure of Noah Carter had become more than a legend. It had become the beginning of a new age, an age where hope, compassion, and imagination guided the stars. The end. Thanks for watching.